Hi, my name is Briana. I am the Adult Services Programming Assistant here at the Bourbonnais Public Library, and I love books. Specifically, I love memoirs. I really enjoy reading books about people and learning about those people from their own perspectives. So I have a couple of memoirs that I'm really excited to share with you today. The first book that I have for you is More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. So Elaine Welteroth is most known as a journalist and an editor. At 29 years old, she became the editor-in-chief at Teen Vogue, becoming the second Black person in Condé Nast history to hold that title. So she used her platform at Teen Vogue to amplify young voices on really key social issues. In her memoir, she discusses race, identity, ambition, and how gender plays into all of those things. And she uses her memoir to remind all of us that we are more than enough. So again, this is More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. The next book that I have for you is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. Lauren Graham is most known for her role as Lorelai in Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls is my favorite show, so I was absolutely excited to read this book and get my hands on it. I actually own a copy myself. And so she talks about her time on the original set of Gilmore Girls and then how it felt to bring that show back decades later. Towards the end of the book, she goes into detail about the original run of the show that she really hadn't watched since the filming and airing of it. And if you're not interested in Gilmore Girls, like myself, you may not be interested in this book. However, I think you should absolutely read it. She tells a lot of fun stories about her childhood, growing up on a houseboat with her dad, Hollywood, and getting into acting. So there's just a lot of interesting things in here. So again, this is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. The next book that I have for you is I'll Show You by Derrick Rose. So Rose is the 2011 MVP of the NBA, becoming the youngest MVP in the league. He was born and raised in Chicago, and he was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 2008. In I'll Show You, Rose details his childhood growing up in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago, his path to the NBA, and his career-threatening injuries. Derrick has always been one of the more quiet and reserved players in the league, so hearing his story from his perspective is really valuable and essential to knowing who he is as a person. So I would highly encourage you to read I'll Show You by Derrick Rose. The next book I have to share with you is The Meaning of Mariah Carey by Mariah Carey. While Mariah Carey is obviously a very well-known, award-winning singer, songwriter, actress, I was not really aware of how young she got started in the music industry. So she details her time in the music industry, how getting started so young impacted her career. She also details her really dysfunctional family and how difficult it was for her growing up, and also how difficult it was being biracial, growing up in a time where biracial was not a term that was used very often. Throughout the book, she uses her song lyrics to explain what she was going through during different times of her life and why she wrote the songs that she did, and how her life was truly influenced and how her music was influenced by all of her life experiences. I really enjoyed seeing her song lyrics in here and being able to go and listen to those songs and being able to correlate what was going on in her life with those songs that she was explaining in her novel. She also, or in her memoir, she also talks about different celebrities that she got the chance to work with and meet throughout her career, and how all of those people were so kind and so beneficial to her progressing her career. So if you are interested in Mariah Carey and her singing and songwriting, I highly recommend checking out this book. The next book that I have for you is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. So as I mentioned previously, I am a Gilmore Girls fan, and so for those of you that are also fans, will not be surprised to see this book because it was mentioned in the Gilmore Girls revival, and that's how it got onto my reading list. So Cheryl Strayed, after the death of her mother and after her divorce, decided that she was going to hike the Pacific Crest Trail. The Pacific Crest Trail is a hiking trail that goes from the Mexico-California border through California, Oregon, and Washington to the Washington-Canada border. It is 2,650 miles, and she decided she was gonna hike it. So throughout this book, she details her time on the trail, the roadblocks she encounters, the difficulties that she has because she's not an experienced long-distance hiker, and how traveling on this trail really helped her come to terms with the death of her mother and with her divorce. I highly enjoyed Wild, and you should definitely check it out and read it as well. So those are all the memoirs that I had to share with you today. As I said, I really love reading memoirs. I love learning about people's lives from their own perspectives. Everyone goes through different struggles, and learning about these people's struggles and how they got through them can be really encouraging and uplifting to those of us going through our own things as well. So you can check out all of these books here at the Bourbonnais Public Library, and thanks for watching.